Hey there, hi there, and ho there, and welcome to today's installment of the HTFL 2020 season. Well, I guess you could call it Season 1 of the Hometown Football League. I'm Big Polly, and I'm coming to you, getting ready to bring you Jacksonville and Houston today. Jacksonville starts the year 1-1. They beat Tampa Bay, then lost to St. Louis. And as you saw a couple of nights ago, St. Louis, not a bad club in this HTFL league when you combine the Rams and the Cardinals together. The Houston Oilers are a combination of the Oilers and Texans. Jacksonville is favored by 3. We're indoors at Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas. 70 degrees, and of course, when you're playing in a dome, it's nice and calm. Houston wins the toss and will receive. And as the game draws up the various informations, Tom Coughlin will be on the sidelines for the Jaguars. Bum Phillips leading the way for Houston. Mark Brunell will be the Jacksonville quarterback, and the Warren Moon will be the starter for the Oilers. With a few Houston Texans on the team. The combination of Oilers and Texans. Levias back deep for Houston in the light blue, I guess you could call it, squares. Jacksonville in the white. Levias advances the ball 26 yards out to the 32 before Ramsey gets to him. We'll set the offense for Houston for you. Earl Campbell and Billy Cannon will be your running backs. Johnson and Hopkins, your wideouts. Daniels at tight end. Moon out of Washington will be your quarterback. Also played for the Edmonton Eskimos and took them to several Grey Cups back in the early 80s. Jameson, Matthews, Myers, Munchak, and Brown, your offensive linemen. Will set the Jacksonville D in a moment. But first, Earl Campbell on a dive. And looks like there was some shenanigans on the first play as Moon could not handle the snap, pounced on it, but Jacksonville marked some dead immediately after a 2-yard loss. So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 30 when we resume. But first, the Jacksonville defense. Brackens and Natakwe, your defensive ends. I'm guessing on that last name that I just mentioned. That's just going to be my guesstimate. Stroud and Henderson are your defensive tackles. Hardy, Pulowsny, and Smith, your linebackers. Ramsey, Mathis, Darius, and Sensabaugh are going to be your defensive backs. We'll go to Billy Cannon on a short pass on 2nd and 12. Instead, they go to Hopkins, and he gains 3. 3 wide receivers into the game, so that brings in Hannigan, Charlie Hannigan. And on 3rd and 9, the Oilers are going to try a medium fly to DeAndre Hopkins, number 10. And that is incompleted. A check down to Campbell. Pulowsny provided some good defense for the Jags. And now, let's see, on 4th and 9, I just wanted to be sure because it didn't look like it was a... Sometimes you ever play a football game and you think the down is not what it is. Okay, 4th and 9, Jim Norton back to punt for Houston. And that is caught, and a nice run by Thomas. He gains 13 yards, which moves it out from the 28 to the 41. Setting the Jacksonville offense for you, Fred Taylor will be the tailback. Jones, the other running back. Smith and McCardell, Keenan McCardell, your wideouts. Brady at tight end. Kyle Brady, that is, I do believe. Let me take a look real fast. Yep, Kyle Brady out of Penn State. Mark Brunell, your quarterback. Pacelli, Naoli, Linder, Manuai, Cersei are going to be your offensive linemen. 1st and 10 for the Jags at the 41. It's going to be a screen, but the screen was not there. Taylor, the intended receiver. And the Jags are already bringing in a sub. They're bringing in Allen Robinson as a 3rd wideout. So this defense I'm going to give you for Houston is the nickel defense, and we will try to set up the base defense later. Watt and Williams, your defensive ends. Childress and Curly Culp are your defensive tackles. Razzle, Ryans, Pollard. Razzle and Ryans are your linebackers, and then to 5 defensive backs: Pollard, Hicks, Bishop, Reinfeldt, and Robertson. 2nd and 10 from the 41. And this is going to be a penalty.
Encroachment defense. Number 79.
Childress gets called for
penalty.
encroachment, and it'll be now 2nd and 5, I believe. Yes, indeed. Now they go into a base defense, and I can tell you that Webster, Brazel, Ryans, and Webster are your linebackers. Pollard, Hicks, Bishop, Reinfeldt, your normal defensive tackles. Well, not defensive tackles, defensive backs. 2nd and 5 from the 46. Rennell looking and finding Kyle Brady for 12 yards. 1st and 10 at the 42 now as Houston crosses. Houston gets the 50 crossed upon. Jacksonville's at the Houston 42. Rennell on the run throws it away.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 8. 10-yard penalty. Loss of down.
And sure enough, they flag Brunel for intentional grounding, so that's 10 yards and a loss of down. As you just heard the referee explain, 2nd and 20 now. Jacksonville back on their side of the 50 at the 48. Incomplete pass looking for Brady. Kyle Brady, the intended receiver. Now it's going to be a tough go for Jacksonville here. They got one play to get 20 yards on 3rd and 20. Incomplete, looking for Robinson. Bishop tipped it. So the Jags will have to punt here this early in the game. 12:05 left in the first quarter. 4th and 20. Here's the punt. And they go to the corner with it, and it's out of bounds at the 18, kicking away from Johnson. Billy White Shoes Johnson, and Houston now with the ball again. 11:59 left in the opening quarter. We'll go trap right, Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell does not gain much. No gain. Smith on the stop for Jacksonville. And on 2nd and 10, we'll go right back to him, trap right. Figure the play has to bust open sooner or later, and this time it does. 12-yard gain. Matthews will go to the sidelines for a few plays. So it's now Jameson, Tamalini, Myers, Monk, Jack Brown, your offensive lineman. I believe Tamalini is is the guy who substitutes for Matthews. 1st and 10, ball at the 30. Off tackle right. Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell gains another 11 yards. Matthews now back in the game, coming in at one guard spot. Let's take a look at Earl Campbell real fast. He had 124 yards against Green Bay and had a pretty good game against the Saints the first week of the season, if I recall correctly. Screen to Billy Cannon. And that's a nice play for 12 yards. And Houston now moving the ball quite nicely. They're at the Jacksonville 47. We'll go sweep left, Earl Campbell. Away from the tight end side of the field, and he gains 4 yards. Peluzny makes the tackle at the 43. Now a 2nd down and 6 with 9:25 left in the first quarter. Seems to be a slow-moving first quarter. Trap right, Earl Campbell. And Earl loses one. Smith makes the stop. And now it's 3rd and 7. We'll go 4 wide. Shotgun formation. And we will go to Drew Hill on a medium slant. Good rush, but a good catch by Hill. 21-yard gain. Move it to the 23 for a 1st and 10 in Jaguar territory. Earl Campbell, as you can see there, it looks like anytime you give him the ball right now, he'll get good yards. We'll go trap left on this play. And no, Puzlowski makes the stop. And it's 2nd and 10. Campbell getting a little worn down, so we're going to go to Billy Cannon on this next run, off tackle right. Trying to get Campbell a little bit of a breather here. He picks up 7, he being Billy Cannon out of LSU. You see him there. Played for the Oilers in the early 60s on those championship teams that Houston had back in that era. AFL championships. 3rd and 3, short slant to Andre Johnson. And Andre with the first down. A pickup of 10, and they move inside the 10 now to the Jacksonville 6. Trap right, Earl Campbell. Touchdown, Earl Campbell. And it is 6-0 Houston with the point after to come. It came. It's good. 7-0 Houston. Houston win would tie Jacksonville for second place in the lower South Division. Tampa Bay at 0-3, New Orleans 3-0. So these are the two teams in the middle. Todman back deep. He takes it at the goal line, chugs it out to the 32, but an illegal block is going to bring that return back a ways, like 24 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 Jacksonville at the 8. McCardell, the intended receiver on that Brunell pass. Brazel got a hand on it, incomplete. 2nd down and 10 now from the 8. Brunell scrambles and nearly gets the first down all by himself. Ryans makes the stop for Houston. 3rd and 1 now from the 17. Just enough for the first down, gets Fred Taylor there. That was his first carry of the game. He has 1 yard. Brunell off to a slow start with 1 for 6 for 12 yards. 1st and 10 at the 18. Brunell. Thrown and caught downfield by Smith at the 44. Pollard on the tackle for Houston after a gain of 26. Ball at the 44, 1st and 10. Fred Taylor out of Florida. He picks up 7 yards before Hicks brings him down. And they cross the 50 to the Houston 49. We have a 2nd and 3 now. 2:36 left, opening quarter. And the ball gets loose. It's slipping around like baby oil. And Jacksonville keeps possession as Manawai pounces on it. And it's a loss of 5 on the play. 3rd and 8. Ball at the 46. Brunell, a quick throw. Intercepted by Reinfeldt. Mike Reinfeldt. That's his first pick of the year. And now Houston takes over. So a very slow start for Brunell. 2 out of 8. 38 yards and a pick. And with 1:19 left in the first quarter, I'm thinking big. I'm thinking long pass to Hopkins. Play action. Oh, a sack by
Eligible
Pelesny.
man downfield. Offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty.
And the penalty will be declined at 11-yard loss as Pelesny came in and abused Warren Moon. And it's now 2nd down and 21. We'll go screen Earl Campbell. That's incomplete. The way Moon threw that one, he looked a little rattled. And it's now 3rd and 21. It's going to be a cab ride to Galveston for the Oilers. Try to convert this. We'll go long pass to Drew Hill. Incomplete. Hill looked for it, leapt for it, couldn't find it. And now 4th and 21. So Norton comes in to punt. And it's a punt of 46 yards. Thomas catches it at the 19 and moves up 5 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Jags at the 24, trailing 7-0. Might be the final play of the first quarter with 40 seconds to go. 1st and 10. Give it to Taylor. Taylor picks up 3. And that'll do it. We've reached the end of the first quarter. Houston 7, Jacksonville nothing. 2nd and 7 as we start this second period. Ball at the 27. Jacksonville with possession to trail by 7. Now, the give to Taylor straight ahead for 3 yards. Reinfeldt, who had the interception just a few moments ago, makes the tackle, a 3-yard gain. 3rd and 4 now at the 30. Brunell keeps throwing it, and he keeps finding incompletions left and right. He's now 2 of 9 for 38 yards. McCardell was the intended receiver who juggled it and lost it, so you can't blame Brunell for that one. 4th and 4 at the 30. Punt return time. And we're going to return it. Billy White Shoes Johnson back deep for Houston. Might do a little dance if he finds the end zone, and he returns it 5 yards out to the 25. Just starting the second quarter, 14:02 left. I heard it was a good year. Trap left, Earl Campbell. Gain of 9. So they keep giving Campbell the ball. He's at 41 yards already. On a 2nd and 1, how about a bomb to Johnson, Andre Johnson? It looks like he's got his man beat. It's caught, and a touchdown. Andre Johnson, a giant there. 66-yard pass, and it's 13-0. Here's the point after. Good. 14-0 now. Oilers over the Texans. Over the Texans. The Jaguars, of course, silly. Todman back deep for the Jags. And that's for 21 yards out to the 23. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are starting in a hole. Say that fast 10 times and see how will you do. 1st and 10, ball to 23. Brunell looking to throw, and he's going deep. And that is caught by McCardell. Gain of 49. Hicks finally brings him down at the 28. 1st and 10 from there. So Jacksonville with a chance to quickly answer. No gain. Taylor on the handoff, and Williams brought him down. So it's now 2nd and 10, same spot, the 28 of Houston. And that's a touchdown to Kyle Brady. So Kyle Brady gets Jacksonville on the board here. 14-6. Here's the point after try. It's good. 14-7 as Hollis puts that through. Levias back deep to receive the kickoff. Might go to him, might not. Looked like it did. And a nice return
Holding,
out to the 38.
team,
But that will come back.
Penalty.
J.J. Watt committed the penalty. Who? What? What? Never mind. 1st and 10 at the 10. Billy Cannon trap right. With this combination of Oilers and Texans, the offense can both run the ball and throw the ball, which is probably going to be a bit of an advantage for Houston against this Jacksonville defense. The problem with Jacksonville is they have only been around 25 years or so, whereas Houston has been around, when you combine the Oilers and Texans, almost nonstop since 1960, when the AFL came to be. We're going to do a stretch play to Campbell, and I'll expand on that thought for a moment. And a nice gain for Earl Campbell, pick up a 17. Move the chains. Despite the interruption that Houston had with professional football in between when the Oilers left for Tennessee and when the Texans came to be with the expansion, any team that's been around at least 50 years is probably going to be pretty deep. And I think this is where Houston's going to have an advantage over Jacksonville and over Tampa Bay. Probably not with New Orleans, because New Orleans has been around about the same time. They were an expansion team in the NFL in 1967. So I think when we get to the end of this regular season, you're going to find that Houston and New Orleans will probably be playoff teams, and Jacksonville and Tampa Bay will likely not be. Okay, sweep to the right, and enough of me talking. Earl Campbell on 1st and 10. A fumble, and it is recovered by Jacksonville. Mathis, Sensenbaugh had it, pitched it to Mathis. Between the two of them, it was a return of 5 yards. So Jacksonville now in business. 9:55 left in a half, and they trail 14-7, but that could change quickly. Here's Brunell on 1st and 10 from the 28, and it's a give to Taylor, but hold everything.
Offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty.
Did I say hold everything? It was Tony Boselli who gets called for holding, and it's going to be 1st and 20 now from the 38. Brunell throws an incomplete pass to Kyle Brady. He's 4 for 12 on the day. It updated him 115 yards. It's been a little wild, kind of like Charlie Sheen's character in Major League. But that was baseball, of course. 2nd and 20, ball at the 38. A throw and an incompletion as J.J. Watt knocked that one down. 3rd and 20 now, ball at the 38. Nice throw, but incomplete as they were looking for Smith on that, and Pollard was on the coverage. 4th and 20, so a little too far to try a field goal. Jacksonville will punt and try to catch Houston in a hole. We're going to let the punt roll and hope it goes for a touchback. And it does. Touchback, bring it out to the 20. 9:19 left to go in the opening half. We're going to go sweep to the right with Earl Campbell. Gain of 1. Gain of 1. 2nd and 9 at the 21 now. We'll go to Owen Daniels on a short hitch. Tight end. And that's a quick throw and an incompletion. Moon is 5 for 9 for 112 yards. 3rd and 9. We're going to go 3 wide. We're going to bring Charlie Hennigan in for a medium slant. Look for 87, and he's got it. 15 yards. Another first down for Houston. First downs, we'll take a look at that real fast. Houston has 9, Jacksonville with 5. We'll go Billy Cannon off tackle, right? He should get some good runs. I'm pretty sure Jacksonville will be keying on Earl Campbell, so I want to get Billy Cannon the ball. By the way, I control all the home teams. The computer controls all the road teams, so we try to keep it fair. I try to keep it fair and try to give everybody, technical errors notwithstanding. I want to try to control everybody half of the games until we get to the playoffs, and then, the home team will be the best team. So we'll see how that goes. Short hitch, Andre Johnson on 2nd and 6. And something good happened. I didn't quite catch it right off the bat. It was Moon scrambling for 10 yards. Mathis on the stop. So put the ball right at the midfield stripe for a 1st and 10. And we will go right back to Earl Campbell. And Earl does not gain much. In fact, he doesn't gain anything. Henderson on the stop for Jacksonville. 12 carries, 61 yards has Earl Campbell. Look at Henderson real fast out of Tennessee. Played in the Jags in the mid-aughts. Big boy, 6'7", 328 pounds. 2nd and 10. Screen, Billy Cannon, who they wrote a song about once. Gain of 4. He was on that last LSU championship team prior to the 2019 season when LSU just won the national championship, beating Clemson in early 2020. Boy, does that seem so long ago. Anyway, 3rd and 6, 3 wide. Hopkins will go with a quick slant. It's caught, and it's a first. Gain of 11. 4:44 left until halftime. Okay, we'll stay in the same formation and use Campbell on a trap right. Try to take advantage of a less clogged, I guess you could say, line, but he gets nowhere on that. Nadekwe makes the stop. Bring in the base formation again, and we will go right back to Earl Campbell. Sweep to the right. And that's a nice gain. Gain of 7. Ramsey makes the stop. 3rd and 3. Play action short pass to Mr. Owen Daniels. Caught by Daniels, and he's got running room all the way to the 13. Gain of 15. will go Billy Cannon trapped to the right. Try to get Earl Campbell a little bit of a breather. He's at 88%. 2-minute warning. 14-7 Houston. We'll now call a 2nd and 6 play from the 9. We're going to go outside run, and we'll go to Earl. He's a little tired, but he loses
Holding.
2.
Offense, number 55, 10-yard penalty.
Myers called for holding, and it's now 2nd and 16 from the 19. What to do here? I'll look at my reserve backups here. Bring Hoyle Granger in. I even knew how to pronounce his name. Amazing. Screenplay to Hoyle Granger. And Granger with 6. That was a nice little substitution. Here's the point after to make it 21-7, and it's good. Al Del Greco. And now Jacksonville with perhaps a final chance to get on the board this half. They trail by 14. Here's Todman back deep, and he'll take it up near the 10 and run with it to the 31. See if Brunel can get any more effective throwing the ball. Houston has pretty much harassed them pass defense-wise for most of this first half. 1st and 10 at the 31. Give to Taylor. Taylor's not going to pick up much. He'll pick up 5. When you're trying to score 5 yards of play, I don't know if that's going to do it. 2nd and 5 from the 36. A throw. Deflected by Pollard, intended for Smith, Jimmy Smith. You see him there on that those 90 teams. Jacksonville, of course, second year they were in the NFL, they beat Denver in a divisional playoff game. That was like quite an upset at the time. They played New England for the AFC Championship, lost that. But they did all that in year 2. 3rd and 5 from the 36. Throw and a catch, 10 yards. Smith makes the reception. Pollard brought him down. 1st and 10 from the 46. Jaguars have 2 timeouts left. Throw and a catch on the sideline to McCardell, 15 yards. They did not get out of bounds, so Jacksonville has to burn another timeout. The Oilers, by the way, have 2 timeouts left if we ever get back to them before half. 1st and 10 now from the Houston 39. And something happened here. A fumble. Right in the arms of Brazil. He had room to run, and he ran it 35 yards back. So Houston, speak of the devil, they get the ball at the Jacksonville 21. We have 46 seconds left and 2 timeouts left to use. But we're going to go medium cross to Hopkins. We might not even have to use a timeout. Well, yes, we are going to have to use a timeout because Hardy got to Moon on that play, and they lose 4. It'll be 2nd and 14. Hoyle Granger is going to come out of the game, but we thank him for his efforts for that touchdown. Bring Campbell back in, and we're going to throw it. We're going to medium out it to Hopkins. That's incomplete. 3rd and 14 at 25. They're in field goal range, so I don't think they have anything to lose. Medium fly, Andre Johnson. That was caught, a gain of 8. It'll be 4th down, and Jacksonville not calling timeout, so Houston will milk the clock down to 3 seconds and kick a field goal. Del Greco comes in, and he'll try one from 34. Should be doable for him. Well, speak of the devil, it wasn't. And that's how this first half will end. Your score going into halftime, Houston 21, Jacksonville 7. Before we begin this second half, some programming notes. At 9 o'clock tonight, you can catch the latest HTFL games on my current schedule at 8 every night, except Sunday night. 9 o'clock tonight, we have the latest installment of OOTP Perfect Team, as I finally accrued more 3,000 perfect points. Probably be higher by the time I do it. So we'll pull a pack of gold cards and see what that brings. Should be doing a franchise hockey manager tomorrow. And we have Grand Slam Wrestling coming up on Saturday night. We have Farmer Burns defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Jerry the King Lawler. And Jerry the King Lawler is a fan favorite, so that's going to be a battle of fan favorites in that match. Although you never know with the King, he might get a little rowdy. And we will be doing games next week to end week 3. Then I'm going to take a 3-day pause on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the 4th of July weekend, and we'll be coming back with week 4 on July 6th. Okay, we begin this second half. 21-7 Houston, 284 yards. No, 264 for Houston, 158 for Jacksonville. Let's see who's doing good right now. Moon has a very, very good game, 11 out of 16 for 184 yards. And just looking offhand, McCardell has 2 catches for 64 yards for Houston. Brunell has not played well, although he's thrown some passes for yardage. 6 out of 17 for 140 yards. Jacksonville will get the ball to start the second half, and it will be Todman back deep to receive the kickoff. He takes it at about the 5, moves it out to the 33, but as you see and hear, you have a holding call against Puslowsny. Move the Jags back to their own 8. 1st and 10. That is Jones on the play. A quick hitter. Ryans makes the stop. 2nd and 8 from the 10. A gain of 10 as Brunell throws to McCardell. Hicks on the stop. So it's now a 1st and 10 for the Jags at their own 20. They only trail by 14. They can get back in this. A fumble. Houston's got it. Curly Culp with the fumble recovery, and now Houston with a chance to increase the lead. Earl Campbell, trap right. Just stick to basics on this very first play of the half. Earl Campbell with a gain of 9. Ramsey on the stop. We will go Owen Daniels on a medium slant. On a 2nd and short. He's got it, and he's got 6. Owen Daniels makes it 27-7. Here's the point try by Del Greco, and it's 28-7. So now Jacksonville's mountain to climb just gets a little steeper, trailing by 21. Todman back again. Takes it about the 3 and moves out to the 26. They will say that he caught it at the 2 and moved it up 24 yards. 3 turnovers for Jacksonville, 1 for Houston. Penalties about similar. 4 for Jacksonville, 3 for Houston. 1st and 10 at the 26. Brunell. To give
personal foul. Defense. Number 33.
To Jones.
15-yard penalty.
And he gained
automatic.
3. And then
First down.
Hicks gets a little rough with him for a 15-yard penalty. It's now a 1st and 10 at the 44. To Taylor, and Taylor to the right side for 5. Williams on the stop. Now a 2nd and 5 from the 49. Brunell having an off day, so says the Dave Koch Sports Action PC 2020 football simulation. An incomplete throw, looking for Fred Taylor in the flat. 3rd and 5 at the 49. A throw and a catch, a quick one, and that was to McCardell for 6 yards. Keenan McCardell played on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that won a Super Bowl championship. 1st and 10 at the 45 now of Houston. for Jacksonville, and that is Taylor with a trap left, and J.J. Watt says, "Who are you?" And he gets back to the line, and that's it for no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 45. And that is Smith, Jimmy Smith, with a 13-yard gain before Pollard brought him down at the 32. 1st and 10 from the 32. Long throw. It's completed to Smith, and that's another 19 yards. They had Smith double covered, but the throw still gets to him. 1st and 10 at the 13. How about Brunell looking for McCardell, and that's a touchdown. So Brunell might be just warming up. And when he led those 95-96 Jacksonville Jaguars, he led them from behind to win a few games here and there. So he wasn't a bad quarterback to have when you were trailing. Here's the point after by Hollis, and that is good. And it's 28-14 with 8:18 left in the third quarter. We'll go to Levias back deep for this kickoff. And Levias with a pretty good return of 20 yards to the 26. Campbell on the day, 15 carries for 77 yards. We'll give it to him on a dive play here. Just try to get the offense's confidence back up. 7-yard gain. Darius out of the game for a few plays. I believe he was one of the safeties, and they have brought Lowry in to replace him. Reed coming into the game for the Oilers. Alvin Reed. They're going to go double tight end and try to take advantage of the safeties. We'll go medium hitched Alvin Reed, in fact. And it's caught. 16 yards. We'll go to the other tight end and try Owen Daniels. Just keep working the tight ends. And that's a nice catch. Catch and run for 13, and now Moon 14 for 19 for 224. Trap right, Earl Campbell. Gain of 5. That was the 17th carry of the game for 89 yards. How about Billy Cannon on a pitch right? It'll be a marker down. Hold it.
Encroachment defense. Number 91, 5-yard penalty.
And Nataqua gets called for the encroachment. That'll give Houston a first down. Medium hitch, Owen Daniels. Keep trying those tight ends. And that was not there. Brackens was hurt. Number 90, he will go out, bringing Mincy in. That's Jeremy Mincy out of Florida. And it's now a 2nd and 10 from the 28 with 5:25 left in the third quarter. We'll go back to a base formation, and we will trap it right to Earl Campbell. Try to take advantage of the substitute. And Earl Campbell has himself a touchdown from 28 yards out. Puts him over 100 for the day. 117 to be exact. And Houston answers right back from Jacksonville answering Houston. So we've had 3 straight touchdowns on 3 straight drives. Here's the point after try, and it's good. Del Greco puts it through, 35-14. Todman back deep again for Jacksonville. And it was taken by one of the up men. That was Blackman. Took it at the 7, ran it out to the 31 for a 24-yard gain. So back and forth we go for this one. We've had 3 straight touchdowns on 3 straight drives. Houston, Jacksonville, and Houston, and now Jacksonville gets it back. 1st and 10 at the 31. Taylor with the shovel pass. He was the recipient of the shovel pass. Williams brought him down after a gain of 1 at the 32. 2nd and 9 at the 32 now for the Jags. And it's a give to Jones.
Encroachment defense.
But more
Number
importantly,
94, 5-yard penalty.
as you hear there, it was encroachment against Houston. So that's 5 yards to be marked off. It'll now be a 2nd and 4. You give to Taylor. Taylor 1 yard. Not a heck of a lot there. Reinfeldt makes the stop. 3rd and 3 at the 38. And a nice screen to Taylor, who picks up 17. First and 10 at the 45 with 3:13 to go. Throw and a catch by Taylor, and that's 4 more yards. 2:31 left, second and 6 at the 41. 2:31 left, third quarter. And that was another catch, this time to Smith, 11 yards. Pollard on the stop. And it's now first and 10 at the 30. This time he finds Robinson, Brunell to Robinson for 14. Bishop on the stop. Brunell getting in a bit of a rhythm now. 15 for 27, 247, a pick, and 2 touchdowns. First and 10 at the 15. Will he get his third touchdown throw here? And close, but no cigar. Taylor picks up 13 yards, and Ryans tackles him at the 3. So we go to the fourth quarter. 35-14 Houston. As you could see, Jacksonville bringing in substitutes, Cecil Shorts and Maurice Jones-Drew. Jones-Drew will play as the running back, Shorts at wideout, as they go to a 4 wide receiver package, and they want to use a little more speed in their lineup. First and goal from the 3. It's Brunell. He throws it to Jones-Drew, and Jones-Drew drives through for 6 points. 35-20. Here's the point after. It's good. 35-21. Levias back deep for Houston. And Levias out to the 30 after a gain of 24. 353 total yards for Houston, 293 for Jacksonville. Should be closer, but those 3 turnovers looming large at this moment. Trap right, Earl Campbell. Penalty down.
Holding. Offense. Number 55. 10-yard penalty.
And that's Myers who gets called for holding. It's now first and 20. We'll go Cannon. Trap right. Cannon picks up a few yards. 4 to be exact. Nadekwe on the tackle for Jacksonville. Second and 16. We're going to screen it to Campbell. And Campbell with running room, but there's a marker down.
Offsides. Defense. Number 91. 5-yard penalty.
This is a tough one because if we take the penalty, it's second and 11. If we decline it, it's third and 1, but we have Earl Campbell in our backfield. So I'm going to decline it and go third and 1. Hope it doesn't come back to bite me. Off tackle right, Earl Campbell. It came back and bit me. Nadekwe on the tackle, and it's going to be 4th and a yard. Not going to fake it here, obviously. Norton will go back to punt. And that was Thomas at the 14, ran it back 7 to the 21 with 12:55 left in this fourth quarter. 35-21 Jacksonville. Score here, and we have a very interesting game. Give to Jones-Drew, and Jones-Drew loses 2. Williams on the stop. Second and 12 at the 19. Brunell to the air, and he gains 24, but that will come
back.
Number
67,
Anawai
penalty.
Called for holding. Second and 22 now from the 9. Jacksonville gets backed up. Gain of 4. Jones-Drew with the catch. And it's now third and 18 from the 13. Loss of 4 as Childress introduces himself to Brunell for the sack. And now it's 4th and 22 from the 9. Houston's going to go for the block. Instead, it's returned, and this is Billy White Shoes Johnson. Get ready, Houston. He's going for a dance.
Missing the kicker. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
hold everything. We got a holding. We got roughing the kicker against J.J. Watt. So much for that. And Jacksonville. Well, actually, no. The touchdown's going to stand. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened at all. Sorry about that, folks. Point after is good. It's 42-21. Roughing the kicker would be a penalty against Houston, but instead they're levying it against Jacksonville, so I don't know what happened there. Oh well, okay. Kick is from the 50, and this looks a little awkward. Kick it at an angle, and the return to the 11 by Blackman. Tom Coughlin going over the referees like, what the hell happened there? They're like, I don't know. First and 10 at the 11. Houston now up 42-21. Loss of a yard. So roughing the kicker penalty, Jacksonville would not have declined it. They would have took it because it would have been a first down for Jacksonville and it would have kept their drive going. So, I don't know. Second and 11, ball to 10. That's a screen to Jones-Drew, and he gains 6. Brazil gets to him, and now it's 3rd and 5 from the 16. Another screen to Jones-Drew. He's got 9 yards.
Offense, number 72.
And Houston accepts that penalty and makes it another 3rd down. 3rd and 13 from the 8. Incomplete throw. Brunell to McCardle. Billy White Shoes Johnson with a 61-yard punt return, so I guess he did get to do his little dance after all, but that should not have been an acceptable touchdown. Well, anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it. 4th and 13 from the 8, back to punt. And Billy Johnson with another nice return to 14. That was anger. Jacksonville probably feeling a lot of anger right now. 1st and 10 at the 40. For Houston, they lead by 21 points. Off tackle right, Earl Campbell. And Earl Campbell straight ahead. He gets 16. He's at 133 on the day. It's a season high for him. We'll go to Cannon on a dive. And Billy Cannon gallops for 15. That moves it to the 9. Now we're going to bring Toller in the game. That is Charlie Toller out of Northwestern State. Another one of the old traditional Houston Oilers. In fact, we'll give him the ball on a dive. And he's got a touchdown. So Granger and Toller have each scored in the only plays they have been involved in. 7:36 left, and it's about to be 49-21 as Del Greco puts this one through. 1 play and 1 score for Tolar, and 1 play, 1 score for Hoyle Granger. So a great day for the 60s Houston Oilers. Todman back deep again for Jacksonville. And something happened here. It was Blackman who takes it at the 14 and returns it 25 to the 39. Well, still a little ways to go. 7:28 left, but Jacksonville will have its work cut out for them here. 1st and 10 at the 39. Long throw, incomplete.
Roughing the passer, defense, number 79, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Childress called for roughing the passer. Move it up 15 to the Houston 46, 1st and 10. Incomplete, intended for Jimmy Smith. Reinfeld on the defensive coverage. 2nd and 10 at the 46. I think we were at. And that's Jones-Drew, and he's going nowhere. J.J. Watt pulled him down. 1-yard loss. 3rd and 11 at the 47. Brunell. Always was a good clutch quarterback back in his day, and that was a throw for 16. And that was to Shorts, Cecil Shorts. Bishop on the stop. Move it to the 31 for a 1st and 10. That's a throw and a catch to shorts again, 17. And Brunel has now gone over 300 yards on the day. He's now 21 for 35 with a pick and 3 touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 14. 5:36 to go.
Pass interference.
And pass
defense.
interference.
Number 23, automatic, 1st down.
It's almost as like Houston saying, go ahead and score, boys. 1st and 10 from the 5. To Jones-Drew. And Linder was injured on the play. So Norton is going to come in and play corner. That is Jim Norton, who was a safety. He will play cornerback, and he's been doubling today as the punter. 2nd and goal from the 5. Touchdown. Watt tipped it, but Robinson was Johnny on the spot. And it's 49-27. Here's the point after try. Good. And back and forth we go. It's 49-28. We have had 7 touchdowns in the second half. 4:41 left. I'm going to watch for an onside. Levias is back deep. They will give it to him. And
Holding,
he gains
receiving
18.
team.
But Watt called for holding. Back him up half the distance to the 12. Double tight ends, and we're going to bring Billy Cannon in the game. Gain of a yard. Houston will milk the clock with 4:25 to go. Trap right, Earl Campbell. Gain of 2. Nadekwe on the stop. Houston's just going to play it safe and go trap to the right. Earl Campbell. Campbell with only a yard more. And it'll be 4th and 6. And Houston's going to let the clock go all the way down to 2:21 and call a timeout. Punting time. Here's Norton, who we just saw playing safety. And this is a nice return for Thomas. He gained 17 to the Houston 42. So Jacksonville with the ball. They trail 49-28 with 2:14 left. 1st and 10 at the 42. Brazil gets to him for a sack and a loss of 8. 2nd and 18 at midfield. Jacksonville burns a timeout. Houston also with 2 timeouts. 2:06 left. Brunel to Jones-Drew, incomplete. 2-minute warning. 49-28 Houston. 3rd and 18 from the 50. Well, $1:53 on the clock. Incomplete.
Encroachment defense. Number
But Houston gives them a free
5-yard
play.
penalty.
And it's now 3rd and 13 from the Houston 45. I imagine Jacksonville would go for it on 4th. If we get that far. And we don't. Jim Norton, who was punting, gets his first pick of the year. So Houston will just run the clock out here, I would think. In fact, whatever happened here won't count. It's a replay. Showing a replay, but the teams are in the wrong colors. I think they need another patch for this game. I was saying to in the comments of the Miami St. Louis Real Red Sox fan that it was after the Otis Anderson run, which the game did not animate, that I realized, oh, they have a patch. They've had a patch since June the 4th. And I hadn't downloaded it yet, but I did right after that game. And it looks like the graphic presentation, not to be critical of a game that I have owned for over a decade now, but it could use a little work. Okay, let's go with substitutes. We're going to bring George Blanda in. Trying to bring George Blanda in. Will the game let me bring George Blanda in? Okay, here we go. Number 16, we're going to bring Granger back in the game. And at fullback, we're going to bring in, let's see here. Hate to keep the game going. Charlie Toller. Granger on a dive. Give him another carry after he got that touchdown for us. Houston is going to go to 2-1. I'm sorry, they're going to go 1-2, and Jacksonville is going to go to 1-2. Atlanta will take a knee here. See if Jacksonville burns timeouts. They do not. Otherwise, we'll just take another knee. And with 10 seconds to go, that will be the game. Our final, Houston 49, Jacksonville 28. Entertaining, that I will give you. Houston with 416 total yards. Houston with 325. Jacksonville committed 4 turnovers. Houston committed 11 penalties for 111 yards, so this game was a bit of a penalty fest, 18 penalties between them. And this game ran a little long because of all the scoring and all the penalties. Look at the scoring summary reel there. Houston got 2, Jacksonville got 1, Houston got 2, Jacksonville got 1, Houston got 1, Jacksonville got 1, Houston got 2, and Jacksonville got 1. Those are the touchdowns there. We had 11 of them in this game. Player stats, I would say Earl Campbell should just get player of the game honors. 22 carries, 136 yards. And let's see, McCardle played well for Jacksonville, 9 catches for 93, including a 49-yarder. After a slow first half, Mark Brunell came back and made it a game. Jacksonville did not show any quit. I'll give them that. It's 49-28 Houston, and that puts them at 1-2 and in second place with the head-to-head win over Jacksonville. New Orleans will go into Week 4 at first place, and Tampa Bay will bring up the rear at 0-3. Our next game tomorrow will be Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota, one of the success stories of the HTFL so far at 2-0. Then on Friday, we have a traditional game that should be a doozy, Chicago and Green Bay. And then Saturday, Denver sees their first action in 2 weeks. They were one of the teams that had a bye in Week 2, and they will take on their traditional rival, Kansas City. And then next week, San Francisco, Seattle, San Diego at Los Angeles. There should be a good one. Our only unplugged game of the week, where I will lay back and not do as much commentary, Arizona and Las Vegas, and then Baltimore and Pittsburgh a week from tomorrow. So your final score, once again, in case you missed it, Houston 49, Jacksonville 28. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. I'll catch you again at 9 o'clock for some OOTP Perfect Team Pulls, and see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the Detroit-Minnesota game, Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise. Catch you then, and catch you later. Bye-bye for now, everybody.